Discovered the hollowed passageway.
This is where the Sulevin blade was lost.
Stuck it in the arse end of nowhere.
Apparently. Thanks, team, for your commentary on the situation. Why is that it's showing up as loot? I see it on the mini-map, but I don't... Is it up here? It's gotta be up here, right? What is it? Nope. Wait, seriously, I'm a little confused. Oh, okay, I see it now. Never mind. Never mind. Just like random piles of gold, which are impossible to see, apparently, from a distance. Unless you manage to mouse over them. Not that I need the gold, but I am going to be spending all of my character's money on decorations for Skyhold. It's going to be like the last thing that I do before I do Trespasser. Or maybe even before the end of the game, just in general. Yeah, totally worth. What do I exactly have to do in here? That shows me to go down. Okay. Is this another puzzle room of some description? Do I have to puzzle my way out? Do I have to go around and find body parts and put them together and then defeat a demon? After taking Veilfire with me for 25 minutes? And constantly losing it due to accidentally left-clicking and water. Is this how this is gonna go down? Because I really don't want to do that right now. I'm okay with killing things though. What is this?
There's an altar.
And everything was perfectly serene until they disturbed the ancient altar.
You know, I was joking. I was joking when I was making fun of that. As it turns out, none of it was a joke, and I didn't even know. Maybe I subconsciously knew or something. Maybe that's what it was. I'm so depressed now. I'm like, finally, I'm done with that Veilfire's challenge thing. Hey, look. There's things to get with the Veilfire. Just runes. Oh, goody. Good news is I only need one more of those to get that mosaic done. In fact, I only need like 1 to 2 more of everything. I don't know where I'm missing half of these mosaic pieces. They're probably like a lot of... I keep hearing it, but I don't see it. They're probably like back in the first few zones that I did before I used the maps, like hinterlands and maybe there's one. I thought I got all the ones in the Storm Coast. There might be one in the Storm Coast. Crestwood might have 1 or 2. I think there's just like a few randomly about that I'll have to go get, but I do plan on finishing those. There it is. I kind of wish that there was an easier way to track them. Like, if I go to the mosaics in Skyhold and look at them, I wish it would say, like, hey, you have, you know, numbers 1 through 7.
It's only part of the sword. The elves broke it after all.
And no one's recovered it since, thanks to the Revenant.
Yep.
There must be more altars.
There must be. There probably are, and I'll probably find them. Anyways, I wish it would be like, you have 1 through 8. You're missing 9, but you have 10 and 11. Like, that would be great, because then I can just be like, okay, where's piece number 9? And it'd be like, it's here in Crestwood. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you, game. Although the game wouldn't tell you that. That would be looking it up on the map thing. There might be something like that. Not sure. Oh, before I see I can go down the other way, but I really should just jump down here and make sure there's no secret passageways back. See? I knew I should have looked. Not that I necessarily needed to. Chances are we're going to get into combat. So now I'm going to bother lighting. Because it's just going to take my time. Was that a passageway this way? Darkness. I can't see. Nope, but there was loot. Alright, here's what we'll do then. We will go back into the main area this way. And if I can't find Veilfire stuff, which it appears to be everywhere, at least on this side, then I will come back. Otherwise, I don't really feel the need to be carrying that around with me, especially when there's just enemies everywhere. Like, ideally, what I would do is clear everything out and then get these, right? As opposed to, like, running around like I am, finding them, having to find Veilfire to go get it, getting it, going back to the next one. Once you get to the next one, you run into combat, so then you lose it. You lose the Veilfire. Then you have to go find more Veilfire, as opposed to just clearing it out and getting the Veilfire right off the bat. Can I go that way? Oh, that goes downstairs. Oh my. Let's get this first, and then we'll go downstairs. Or should I go up over there first? Where are you? Oh, there's multiple enemies this time. See, I didn't drop the torch now, but it did last time I did number 4 when I tried. It's so annoying. Look at me. I'm not dropping it. I probably should just kill this thing. So I could just go over there and pick it up again. Wasting time. Are you dead? Do I loot stuff from you? I do. Thank you. Okay. I thought I already looted the hilt.
Sarah, I noticed one of my books is missing.
Maybe check with Creepy. He still touches everything.
I think she was talking about Cole. The way of the oh, I thought that said the way of the trees. The way of 3 trees, I think is what that. Yeah, the way of 3 trees. I don't know what 3 trees have to do with anything. But apparently it's mildly important. At least in Elven lore. You know, that's the thing with the Elvish stuff. That they've really gone into detail in Inquisition is they've expanded their lore so much. Maybe expansion is not the right word for it. They've just improved upon what was already there. I don't know if they really expanded on it too much, but they just took what we already had from Origins way back in the day, and then they kind of grabbed the bits from the tabletop RPG that they put out, and which I hear is really good, and then just the books and everything. Took all of that information from codexes in the previous games and just were like, okay, here you go. You guys wanted elf stuff? We'll give you plenty of elf stuff. I really like that because I think I've said this before, but I think the elves are one of the most intriguing parts of Dragon Age. They did a really good job on the elf lore, making them not elfy, kind of, you know, like in a way they're really kind of magical and mystical, and I like the dichotomy between the chantry and the elven gods and everything. I think it's really cool. Because the best... Okay, this is... From a storytelling point of view, this is something that I've learned doing the Star Wars series, is that sometimes the best kind of storytelling only happens when there's conflict. Which is why every movie you ever see has conflict in it, because it's just... It's the best for storytelling. It allows the character, or characters... if there are multiple characters, to overcome some type of conflict. They resolve said conflict, which gives you satisfaction in some way or another in the story. And I'm pretty sure I got everything this way. Yeah, I went this way. So what I'm getting at here is the conflict between the elven gods and the chantry is so good because it does that exact same thing that you see in like plenty of movies. Like there is a conflict there. Both actually are presented as the right way, right? So the elven gods, you can clearly see have merit to them in some form or another, whether it's just coincidental or not. You can clearly see that there's evidence for the elven gods existing, because the elves have a lot of power. And whether or not that is... Okay, that was crazy. Whether or not that is because the elves were powerful and they had just powerful people that they worshipped, or because they actually had some type of deities, I guess. So they had a pantheon, really. It's cool because it contrasts with the single deity of the Chantry. And there's the conflict there, because the conflict basically states that one cannot exist if the other does.
Snuffed it.
At least that's what the... Get out of combat. That's what the characters in the story tell you, right? Because that's what they believe. They believe if one exists, the other cannot. So if one is true, the other is not. And I think that's what makes Sarah such a good character, is because she's one of the first characters that we've come across that have kind of been like, well, what if both work? What if both can coexist? What if there is a maker? What if there is the elven pantheon, below that, or above that, or whatever? It's cool because she's like the first character to really point that out in a big way within the story. And again, that creates conflict. And in trying to resolve that conflict, that's how the story is told. All of the Dragon Age Inquisition story, all of the Dragon Age 2 story, all of these stories are revolving around that conflict. Because in Origins, it's about the Darkspawn, which came about because of the Magisters going into the city, and then the Maker casting them out and creating the Darkspawn. Right? Dragon Age 2 is all about the Chantry.
Perhaps Dagna can find a way to restore it.
Oh, heck yeah. Dragon Age 2 is all about the Chantry and the Templars and the mages and the fallout of all that, and how that doesn't really work, despite the way that they want it to. It's so good. It's so good. Like, the writers for Dragon Age have just done a phenomenal job fleshing out the world. And, in fact, like many stories, it's a... you look at Star Wars. Star Wars is a story about conflict. It's a story about light versus dark, right? There's other stories within that, but the primary source for stories within the Star Wars universe is light versus dark. Whether that's light side versus dark side, or Jabba the Hutt versus Han Solo, that's the basis of that. And it's the same thing for Dragon Age. For Dragon Age, the whole basis of the story is kind of the conflict between the Chantry and the elven gods, which then breaks down into the mages versus the Templars, the elves versus the humans. It's like there's a lot of stuff there, and it's so good. Cannot leave during combat, but I'm not in combat. Thank you. Right, so we did that. So let's journal. So we take that back to Dagna, and there was one other thing that, whoops, no, out of combat. There was one other thing. What do you mean? Ah, quit left clicking. Wait for it. There we go. It's up here, the Shrine of Dumont. Did I ever get that quest on? I believe I did. Okay. Let's go talk to Dagna then. I think Dragon Age Inquisition, much like I thought I saw a thing. Oh, that's Cassandra. Much like Mass Effect, what they learned from Mass Effect is it's a story with many mini stories within it. But I think the overall theme of Dragon Age Inquisition is the real world versus the Fade. Think about it. It's like that's what it boils down to. Go to Dagna, right? It's kind of cool when you put it in that perspective. You're like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense, because there's Corypheus trying to get into the Fade, There's you having the ability to shut down the Fades. It's literally the Fade versus the real world, and when you intertwine the two and you go into the raw Fade with the real world, it's kind of an exact mashup of those two, which is pretty cool. Dagna.
So I'm thinking Inquisition?
No.
Almost gotcha. You were there. I have to know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the magic. I'm sorry, it's just so exciting. You went into the Fade. If you have time, Inquisitor, do tell.
Oh gosh, this is actually kind of good timing because we were just talking about that. We'll talk later. I got a sword.
We found a sword in an elven ruin. Can you do something with it?
That broken thing? You can't stitch a sword. Metal doesn't heal. What if it did, though? That would be amazing.
Dagna, the sword.
Sorry. It's quality, right? I could use the pieces to make a plan for a new sword. One that's less broken. It's like the pieces are inspiration. That's just perfect for you.
Okay. Bring the pieces back. They're completed. I acquired it. Weapons. Chance to cast Pull of the Abyss on hit. It's actually really good. A unique greatsword. So like Iron Bolt, right? You would want that. If I could put, what's that using? A rune? Master Dragon Slaying rune? If we put a rune in that, I mean, it's pretty good. It's really good, actually. Let's see about that. So, modify weapons. Let's go two-handed, and let's put a rune in it. So, Master Fire Rune, 327. But that puts it up to 345, but that's for Dragon Slaying. So, like, if I gave him a Master Fire Rune, 327, that's actually really good. It's got a better effect than the axe he's using. Weapons. Okay. Because that one is plus what amount of damage? I mean, he's... Ooh, that's tough, too. Because Pull of the Abyss is really good for him to cast. It's about 20 damage off from the axe. AoE damage versus dragons. Armor pen's pretty good. It only has 11%, but that's got 42 strength on it, which actually makes a big difference. So you know what? Let's give him that. I think it's better because of that 42 strength alone. It's so much main stat. Right. Let's just inventory handle right now. So valuables. Because I know all of this is fairly terrible. Wow, we almost filled up our inventory again just doing those two quests. Holy crap. That's kind of crazy, actually. Come on. Terrible shield. Okay. Boom. I don't think we picked up that much armor, so we can go through that even quicker. I remember picking up a lot of the... That hat might have been better for what's or not, but maybe not. Accessories. Okay. Now, we can... Boom. Sell all. Alright, sweet. So, here's the thing. All we have is the deep roads. We could go try and get the... I just realized, is that still showing up? If we go back to the Storm Coast, not actually go back there. Yeah, we don't really need to go get the key at all from the Storm Coast because we went and cheated it, jumped across the ledge. So all we have to do now is just go do the deep roads. Wow. Okay. Let's get this DLC done.